Hi everyone and welcome back. This is going to be an audiobook review. I know that you were expecting the Starry Light craft video, but I've decided to push that back one more video. I'm currently in the process of filming that one, and over the weekend I finished this audiobook, so I decided to go ahead and do the book review for it. A few months back I decided to try out Audible. There's a free month trial, or where you get to have one book for free and just try it out and see if you like it. And I decided to go ahead and kickstart reading the Star Wars novels. I know those of you who are not Star Wars fans, you know, you can go ahead and go, but I would suggest sticking around because you may be surprised and may miss out on some awesomeness, such as me revealing how nerdy I am. So I decided to try out Dawn of the Jedi Into the Void audiobook. This is a Random House audiobook from Audible, and it was pretty amazing. The narrator, January Lavoie, is pretty wicked awesome, and she does an amazing job with all of the characters, and I'm just really excited to dive into this book review for you. A few years ago, I learned about the other novels of Star Wars. There are novels called the Expanded Universe, which basically expand upon the world that George Lucas created. Some of the books are based solely on the original characters, such as Han Solo, Luke Skywalker, Princess Leia, but they also feature original Star Wars characters, all within the Star Wars universe. So when I learned about these books, I was really shocked that I didn't know about them sooner, and I immediately added all of them to my to-be read list. About that, there are probably over 100 Star Wars novels out there, and me being me, I decided to start with them in chronological order, or in the order that they took place, in accordance to the movies. So Dawn of the Jedi Into the Void actually starts about 25,793. I may have gotten those numbers mixed up, but it's about 25,000 years before Episode 4, A New Hope. And it really dives into the history of the Jedi, but it really focuses on its main character, Lannery Brock. So to sum up Into the Void, it is about the main character, Lannery Brock, and her brother, Dalian Brock, and it very much focuses on their brother-sister relationship. The chapters alternate between different timelines of their life. One chapter is about the younger version of the brother and sister, about them leaving the Padawan Kesh and going into their great journey of becoming Jedis, while the other chapters focus on Lannery, who is a Jedi Ranger, and this task that she has been dealt from her Jedi Masters. So Lannery is a very successful Jedi. She's very experienced, and she's very natural. When the Jedi Masters approach her saying, "We need you to take down this leader of this cult called the Stargazers," the only trick is that the leader of the Stargazers is in fact her long-lost brother, Dalian, who she thought was dead. The story really focuses on Lannery and her journey to go after Dalian and stop him from activating this device that requires dark matter that could potentially destroy the entire system and everyone who dwells in it. Overall, I really liked this book. I thought it was a great start to the Star Wars novels, and the good things I really wanted to focus on is the rich description that the author provides as far as traveling to the different worlds and the different species. I think they did a really good job in describing the world around them and giving you a visual to what is going on. I also really enjoyed the storyline. It's a very fast-paced storyline. If there's ever any slow parts, they don't last for too long. And I also like how the novel presents the stories. It's kind of two stories alongside, both about the journey of each of the characters at two different points in their lives. Which brings me to the characters. There's three characters, Dalian Brock, Lannery Brock, and Trisana, who's a Twi'lek, and kind of like Lannery's sidekick. We'll call him a companion. And I feel like Trisana brings out the lightheartedness of the story. There's definitely dangerous parts in the story where he brings comic relief, and he is actually a really complex character for a companion, and I actually found myself wanting to learn more and more about him and his story and how he became the way that he is. So that's a really good companion, when the author has the ability to make you really care about them and and want to learn more about them. Lannery is a very strong, independent, lone wolf, strong Jedi woman who's very in tune with the Force. She's very balanced. She's not too cliche. She still has a great personality. She's not so bland. She definitely has a lot of complexity to her, which I really enjoy, just reading a strong female character. Her brother is just as complex. However, I feel like he's a little cliche for the bad guy. He's very interesting, and I loved reading about him, but I really did enjoy Lannery and Trisana a bit more. Now on to some of the things that I didn't really care for about the story. I did like the rich history of the Jedi Order, how it came to be, but some parts of it I felt were really confusing. Maybe it's because it was an audiobook and I didn't have the chance to flip back a few pages to really understand what was going on, so it was a little difficult to follow. Also, there were definitely a couple of predictable moments in the story, and there was one particular moment where I couldn't believe it was happening because Lannery basically found herself in trouble again in the same exact way she had previously, and I was like, did this really just happen? I mean, she just like went through this and now she's going through this. I don't understand. That did really kind of irk me a bit, and I was like, really? I thought she was supposed to be this great Jedi who, you know, is like a natural and she's so in tune with everything, and she's falling for it twice. But overall, I really enjoyed the story and I loved the characters, and it was fast paced and I just truly enjoyed it, which is why I'm giving it a 4 out of 5, and I would highly recommend it to anyone who likes action adventure, sci-fi fantasy. I think it's a really great read for those who like those particular genres. And no, I don't think that you have to have like a deep love of Star Wars to enjoy this novel. Now, one of the great things about me listening to this on audiobooks is the added extra effects that I think just added an extra layer of richness to the overall story. And that's the ability to have sound effects and the music playing. Yes, the audiobook does start with the famous Star Wars intro music, and you definitely hear the classic Star Wars sound effects going on in the background throughout the story, which makes the fight scenes and the traveling and the action all that more exciting. One of the other things I found interesting about the story that isn't a spoiler, and that is, since it's set so far before episode 4, they actually don't have a lot of the technology that we see in Star Wars. And one of the things is actually the lightsaber. Lannery Brock does not have a lightsaber. She actually has like a sword, and it's very similar, if not a descendant of the samurai sword. They do have blasters and the capability to travel throughout the system on their ships, but as far as the lightsabers, they are nowhere to be seen. And I found that really interesting, and it kind of brought the world to a level where it's almost a little bit more relatable to Earth. Overall, I would highly recommend this book. I truly enjoyed it. I really did enjoy it on the audiobook. I think it added extra effects to the whole Star Wars experience, getting to hear like the sound effects and all the extra bits that they were able to add to it. And I also think it's a great way to start the Star Wars books. Like I said, I'm starting in chronological order, and if you are interested in starting these Star Wars books or novels or series, please check out yodasdatapad.com. I will have a link to it down below. It basically lists out all of the books that exist in the Star Wars universe, and it puts it in chronological order for you. So you can just kind of start ticking off the books like I am and just going down the list. Do you guys like Star Wars? Or tell me something that is extremely nerdy about yourself. Also, if you had the opportunity to read this book, tell me what you think about it in the comments down below. I'd love to hear from you. Thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you so much for subscribing. You guys will see me very soon. Bye!